You have watched every video on this channel. You know about the backfire effect, the hedonic treadmill, the sunk cost fallacy, the beautiful mess effect, the default mode network. You can name the biases. You can spot the manipulation. You feel smarter, more awake, less foolable, and yet you still scroll when you said you would not. Still compare when you know better. Still hold the grudge you have already analyzed to death. That is not a failure of memory. That is the American cognitive paradox of knowledge. Here is the lie, that understanding a psychological mechanism makes you immune to it. It does not. Knowing that sugar is addictive does not stop you from wanting the cookie. Knowing that the backfire effect exists does not stop your amygdala from firing when your tribe is threatened. Knowledge is not armor. Knowledge is a map. The map shows you the trap. It does not remove the trap. You still have to walk around it. And walking requires something knowledge alone cannot give, the willingness to feel uncomfortable while you change. Now watch your own reaction. You are already thinking, but I am different. I have done the work. I am self-aware. That defensiveness is the second layer, and this is where elite psychology deploys the bias blind spot. You are excellent at spotting biases in others. You are terrible at spotting them in yourself. That is not hypocrisy. That is the structure of attention. You cannot see your own blind spot because the blind spot is where your eyes are not. The more psychology you learn, the more sophisticated your rationalizations become. You do not stop falling into the trap. You just develop better stories about why this time is different. I am not procrastinating. I am incubating. I am not avoiding. I am being strategic. I am not addicted to my phone. I am staying informed. The vocabulary of psychology becomes a shield, not a scalpel. You are not healing. You are redecorating the prison. Here is the elite psychological mechanism that actually closes the gap between knowing and doing. Implementation intentions combined with exposure to discomfort. Knowing is not enough. You need a specific, concrete plan for the moment the bias activates. Not, I will stop comparing. That is a wish. When I open Instagram, I will close it after 60 seconds and text a friend instead. That is a plan. The research on implementation intentions shows that linking a specific cue to a specific action bypasses the reflective brain and goes straight to habit. You do not need more knowledge. You need more scripts. If X happens, I will do Y. Write them down, rehearse them, fail at them, then revise. The person who fails at a specific plan 10 times and revises it 10 times and revises it 10 times is further ahead than the person who reads 20 books and takes 0 action. Action is the only thing that changes behavior. Knowledge is just the pregame show. The American cognitive paradox of knowledge is this: the more you learn about psychology, the more dangerous you become to yourself, because you can now justify any behavior with a clinical term. I am not angry. I'm experiencing activated fight-flight due to perceived threat. That sentence is true. It is also useless. You are still angry. The label does not cool the fire. It just makes you feel sophisticated while you burn. Real wisdom is not the ability to name the mechanism. Real wisdom is the ability to act differently despite the mechanism screaming at you to stay still. That ability is not intellectual. It is muscular. You have to train it like a muscle. And muscles do not grow by reading. They grow by lifting heavy things, failing, and lifting again. Here is your test. Pick one bias you know you have: the comparison habit, the sunk cost trap, the backfire effect in arguments. Now, for the next week, you will not try to understand it better. You already understand it. You will simply interrupt it. When you catch yourself comparing, you will physically stand up and walk to another room. That is the interruption. No analysis, no journaling, just stand up. The physical break resets the neural loop faster than any insight. Most of you will not do this. You will say, I need to understand why I compare first. That is the addiction to knowledge. The addiction has convinced you that one more book, one more video, one more insight will be the key. It will not. The key is in your legs. Stand up. Walk. That is the only intervention that has ever worked for anyone. The rest is just entertainment. Now for the buried layer. At exactly 3 minutes and 45 seconds into this video, there is a single frame of a person sitting on a floor surrounded by open books. The person is not reading. The person is staring at the ceiling. Most of you blinked and thought, that is wasted time. Look again. The person has read enough. The ceiling is where the action lives. Go back. Find the reader. They are not reaching for another book. They are finally sitting with the discomfort of knowing and not yet doing. That discomfort is the bridge. You have been living on the near shore, collecting maps. The far shore is action. The bridge is discomfort. Cross it. Come back for video number 29. We are going to talk about the paradox of self-help. Why trying to fix yourself might be what is keeping you broken. But only if you are willing to close the book and stand up. Rewind or scroll. The ceiling is still there. So are your legs. One of them will move you forward. The other will keep you seated. Your choice.